Everybody's obsessed with the outer world, what's happening out there. But here's the truth. The outside world is something you can influence, not something you can control. What you do have complete control over your own thoughts, your emotions, your body, and your decisions. That's where the real battle is fought and won inside. You master your inner world, and the outer world begins to align with it. But most people spend their lives chasing the outside, trying to win the external game. And even when they do, they end up empty, restless, and unfulfilled. To me, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You can climb to the top, get the applause, the money, the status. But if your heart's not alive, what's the point? Success is about getting what you want. Fulfillment is about living what you're made for. That's the real win. People think problems mean something's wrong with their life, that if they're struggling, they're failing. But problems are not punishment. They're fuel. Growth only happens through challenge. Anyone who doesn't have problems is either asleep or living too small. If you're building something, leading something, creating something, problems come with the territory. The biggest misunderstanding is thinking that having problems means you're broken. The second illusion is believing that getting everything you want will make you happy. You can get what you want and still feel miserable. Because fulfillment doesn't come from achievement alone. It comes from purpose. It comes from living in alignment with what you're truly here to do. Most people can't handle challenges well because they're focused only on themselves. What does this mean for me? Why is this happening to me? The truth is, it's not hard to meet your own needs. The real challenge is stepping beyond yourself, caring about something bigger. But today, we live in a world where instant gratification rules. These little devices in our pockets, these phones, they've trained us to expect instant reward. Tap a button, get a dopamine hit. But that's not how real relationships work. That's not how businesses are built. And that's not how fulfillment grows. There's nothing wrong with going after success, but you've got to also ask, what am I made for? Most people don't know in the beginning, and that's okay. You start where you are. You take the next step in front of you. You do what's right in front of you with all you've got. And over time, clarity comes. Your real passion starts to show itself. Sometimes after years of grinding, people reach a point, maybe 5, 7, 10 years in, where they question everything, their work, their relationships, their direction. That's natural. And at that moment, one of two things happens. Either they pivot and find something new that reignites their spirit, or they realize, you know what, I've got something amazing here, I just need to recommit. Either way, growth happens. That's life. If you stop growing, it doesn't matter how much you've achieved, you'll start to feel empty. Growth is the lifeblood of joy. Find someone who already has what you want in health, in relationships, in business. Study them. Don't just look at their results. Look at their patterns, their mindset, their rituals. They're not lucky. They're doing something different. Success leaves clues. Learn the clues. Model the patterns. Add your own twist. That's how transformation accelerates. Your growth determines your happiness. If you're unhappy, it's because there's an area of your life where you've stopped expanding. Usually, it's where you've started blaming the government, your parents, your partner, the economy. And sure, life can be unfair. People can be unjust, but you can't control that. What you can do is become stronger than your circumstances, because real freedom doesn't come from control, it comes from growth. Control is an illusion anyway. You can't control how others think or act, but you can master yourself, your choices, your focus, your state, and none of us are perfect. None of us have been fair and just all the time. But you can train yourself to make love, compassion, and strength the dominant pattern inside you. When that becomes your default state, life stops being about you being great and starts being about life being great. People who fear speaking, leading, or performing are usually stuck in their heads asking, am I good enough? Am I doing this right? Confidence doesn't come from thinking about confidence. It comes from doing. You don't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. It's repetition. It's mastery. Michael Jordan didn't become confident by hoping. He earned it through thousands of shots in private. He practiced so much that when the lights were on, his body already knew what to do. That's real confidence, certainly built through repetition. Self-esteem is not given, it's earned. You earn it when you keep promises to yourself, when you do hard things and push through resistance. You can have the world's praise and still feel empty inside. Or you can know deep down that you've done the work, and that inner certainty becomes unshakable. Real self-esteem comes from doing what's difficult, what stretches you, and knowing in your soul that you gave your all. It's not about showing off. It's not about posting your grind. It's about what you know when you're alone. But here's the key. If you want lasting self-esteem, find something you care about more than yourself. Because when you're constantly in your own head, you shrink. The mind divides, judges labels, right, wrong, good, bad. But life is so much richer than that. When you focus on a mission, when you care deeply about something beyond you, a child, a cause, a purpose, suddenly you're free. You stop overthinking and start living. You're going to fight battles inside yourself and in the world. That's part of being human. But if you stay in the fight, if you keep going, eventually you slay your dragons. You become the hero of your own life. And people can feel it. They can feel that what you're saying isn't theory, it's lived experience. And just when you think you've made it, life calls you to a new level, a new mountain, a new challenge. That's the beauty of it. The game never ends, it just evolves. Everything in life changes. Everything ends. That might sound heavy, but it's actually freeing. It reminds you to appreciate what's here now. And it reminds you that what's next can always be better if you make it so. Your story is not your destiny. What happens next depends on the choices you make today. The past only equals your future if you keep living there. If you keep steering by the rearview mirror, you're going to crash. I get it. Maybe your past was unfair, even painful. But holding on to it only robs you of your power. The moment you decide to move forward, your life begins again. Hard times build strong people. Strong people build great times. Great times eventually produce weak people. It's a cycle, but you get to choose which part of that cycle you live in. Be strong with yourself, but don't beat yourself down. Self-criticism without compassion kills energy. And when your energy drops, your joy disappears. You produce less, you connect less, you give less. So yes, hold yourself to a high standard, but fuel yourself with love, not self-hate. The real secret isn't just earning self-esteem. It's finding something bigger than you to serve. When you pour your energy into something meaningful, you tap into a power source that never runs dry. People ask me all the time, what does it take to be happy? It's one word: progress. Progress equals happiness. When you're growing, you feel alive. When you're contributing, you feel fulfilled. It doesn't matter how many awards you win or how much money you have. We've seen people who had everything, fame, wealth, admiration, and still ended in despair. Because it's never about what you have, it's about who you're becoming. You don't experience life itself, you experience what you focus on. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. In every moment, what's wrong is available, but so is what's right. It's not about being positive, it's about being intelligent with your focus. When you're overwhelmed, when fear creeps in, shift your focus. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Gratitude dissolves fear, it rewires your brain. Every morning, I take 10 minutes for what I call priming. 3 minutes to feel deep gratitude. Not just think it, but feel it. Maybe it's something huge, maybe it's something simple. The wind, a smile, a moment. Then I spend a few minutes sending good energy, blessings, prayers to the people I love, expanding outward. And then I visualize 3 things I want to create, but I don't hope for them. I give thanks for them as if they've already happened. I feel them done. That programs my nervous system to notice opportunities that move me toward them. 10 minutes later, I'm ready to attack the day with energy and purpose. You can achieve plenty with low self-esteem, but the real question is, what kind of life do you want? To me, an extraordinary life is one lived on your terms. That looks different for everyone. For some, it's raising a family. For others, it's building an empire, writing, teaching, creating. What matters is alignment, knowing what truly lights you up and pursuing it with passion while serving others along the way. That's where real meaning lies. It's okay to be tough on yourself. Just make sure you celebrate too. Comparison steals joy. You look at someone like Steph Curry, greatest shooter in NBA history. People call him a genius, a prodigy. But what they don't see is the work. 500 shots a day, every day, 7 days a week for over 15 years, over 2 million practice shots. That's what creates mastery. You're rewarded in public for what you practice in private. That's how the nervous system is trained. Repetition, discipline, consistency. People say they lack confidence, but it's rarely confidence they lack. It's mission. When you have a mission, when something matters more than your own comfort, you don't need motivation. You have drive. And most people get stuck in what I call the tyranny of how. They get excited about a dream, then immediately freeze. But how do I do it? That question kills momentum. The how comes after the why. Once you're committed, the path reveals itself. Too many people major in minor things. They know every detail of a celebrity's life, but nothing about their own body, emotions, or finances. Focus on what truly matters: your emotions, your relationships, your mission, your growth, and your spirit. These are the pillars that sustain a magnificent life. Guard your mind. Feed it wisely. Jim Rohn, my first mentor, once told me, life is sugar and strychnine, watch your coffee. Meaning, even small influences can shape your destiny. You can't always choose who shows up around you, but you can choose how you respond. If your parent criticizes you endlessly, instead of fighting back, change your perspective. Maybe that's their way of showing concern. Maybe they never learned another way. Love them anyway. Don't let their patterns pull you out of your beautiful state. Most people spend their lives focusing on what's missing instead of what they have. It's a habit. Even successful people do it. But if you always focus on what's missing, you'll live in a permanent state of lack. You'll have drive, sure, but no peace. Abundance and fulfillment begin with gratitude. The mind is software. It runs patterns, but you are the soul behind the software. And if you don't run your mind, it will run you. Passion is the birthplace of genius. When you're truly passionate, you find solutions others can't see. The problem is most people lose their hunger. They get comfortable. They stop stretching. The greatest leaders, the ones who create lasting impact, are the ones who never lose that hunger. Hunger is everything. I don't care how old you are or where you came from. If you're hungry, you can transform your life. Hunger drives learning, creativity, resilience. It's the spark that separates those who dream from those who do. Leaders anticipate, losers react. When you can anticipate, you shape your future. When you only react, you're always behind. Right now, we're in a time of massive change. Recession, disruption, transformation. But this can be your greatest season if you decide to grow through it. History shows it. Most great companies were born in hard times. Disney, FedEx, Apple, all started during economic winters. Winter can freeze you or forge you. It depends on your mindset. I grew up in chaos. My mom was kind and loving when sober, but when alcohol and pills mixed, everything changed. It was violent, unpredictable, terrifying. But that pain became my gift. If my mother had been the perfect mom I thought I wanted, I wouldn't be who I am today. That pain forced me to grow. It made me a student of human behavior. It gave me compassion and strength. If you had a perfect upbringing, you might not have developed the muscle you need today. Your struggles are your strength in disguise, but you have to stop using your past as a cage. Don't let your story become your excuse. We live in a culture that rewards weakness, that normalizes victimhood. But you're not meant to live there. You're meant to rise. You're responsible for your life. No one else is coming to save you. And that's the most empowering truth you'll ever accept. I started reading biographies at 13, people who changed the world. And every one of them had pain, hardship, injustice, worse than mine. But they used it. They turned their wounds into wisdom. That's what you can do too. Don't waste your life scrolling, comparing, or complaining. That's not living, that's escaping. Build something. Grow something. Love something. Give something. Because here's the truth. Anyone who's committed to growth and giving will live a magnificent life, no matter the circumstances. Growth makes you feel alive. Giving gives your life meaning. When you're growing, you always have something to share. Whether it's a product, a story, or a lesson, you become a light for others. And that's what makes life rich. That's what makes it matter. Pandemics, recessions, chaos, they all come and go. But your growth, your purpose, your hunger, that's what defines you. Keep growing, keep giving, keep living the inner game, because when you win that one, the outer world takes care of itself.